going to do, we're in Video Studio 8. I've got my 3 camera views already imported and the sound wave. We'll start by dragging the sound wave, and I'm going to set this to about 4 seconds here. Okay. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to open up the track manager view, and we're going to add in 3 overlay tracks. These are for the 3 camera views we're going to use. So I'll start by just pulling these in. The first thing we're going to do, and probably the most difficult thing to do, is to sync the video with the audio. Okay, let's see here. So we got our 3 tracks in here. We'll just start with one of them. What I'm going to do is I'm going to press this little side button, just kind of hide those other tracks. If we right click in the box here, we can fit to screen. That'll blow it up nicely. Alright, there's 2 different ways to do this. We can either sync it from the sound or from the image, and I think we'll go with the sound. Since this camera is kind of close, we'll be able to hear both tracks at once. So I'm going to set a little marker at the 4-second mark. That's kind of when I want the sound and everything to start. So let me play this clip here. Let's see. And right about there is where it's starting. So now I'm going to take, and if we look, this is what we could do by the, let me open this up for you. Hopefully you can see this. I have a fairly big monitor, so as you drag this slowly, we could see the contact right where the string is making contact on that first note. We could actually see the vibration traveling down the string and the wobble of the string. Okay, so I'm going to get it right to the point where I see it there. This is a fairly time-consuming part too, so I might edit some of this out. I'm going to split this, get rid of that. Now, don't worry when we delete that. It's not actually gone. If I were to drag this back out, it would be there. I'm going to pull this over. Get this back up. Alright, I'm going to play the entire project. So the only 2 things that will play here are going to be this track and the audio, and I'll just see where they're kind of at. And let's see where this audio is starting. Starting right about there. So now I'm gonna repeat this same process again for the audio. I'm gonna split that. Gonna take that. Gonna try to find the very beginning of this. Now that was cut a little short, so what I'll do is just pull that back a little bit more. Let's see. And maybe just another hair, just to play it safe. And we'll try another. There we go. Alright, so now I'm going to slide this over. It's synced up with the 4-second mark. Alright, another way we could do this is if we press the sound mixer, if we have enough wave data, we'll be able to actually see, we could see it down here very nicely. This is a good way, and what we could do is kind of just blow this up a little bit more here. So I could see that and pull it over, try to get that close, and now that it's close, we'll sync it up via the sound. Let me get my headphones on here. So I'm playing Project. I could hear something is slightly off, so what I'll do, and it's probably close enough where if I were to mute the video camera, you wouldn't even notice that it was out of sync, but pretty much we'll see what's going on here. So it looks like we got to come over by a frame here, and let's play the project again. Okay, that sounds much better. So what I'm going to do, so there's two ways. You know, you could go by the sound and match the sound with the visual. Or you could pretty much do sound or visual. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, sync the rest of these up, and then we'll get back with the next step. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is make any adjustments to the overall clip where we want it to affect the whole clip before we start slicing stuff up. So the only thing I really want to do is just adjust color and lighting. From this clip to this clip, the color seems pretty similar. When we get here, something seems a little different. There's a little bit more red in it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the clip, click on options, and we're going to go to edit and the color correction. This is a fairly nice tool. You could there's a lot of great tools, but this is just a real quick way to adjust the temperature. We could see we could adjust the temperature quite a lot, and we'll just take a little bit. Maybe right about there. We'll leave it like that, and now the whole entire clip, we'll just take another quick peek. That seems a little bit better, so that's fine. We'll leave it like that. All right. The title track first. So right here is our title track, our text track. And if we click this little T, I'm also going to blow these up for you too. They just give you a whole lot of templates to work with, and everything you see could be customized. You could even make these from scratch. There's a ton that you can do. So what we'll do is we'll just pick a simple one and just kind of go with it. So let's see here. Maybe we'll take this one. Just going to drag this into here. Click on this. Blow up our window a little bit. Double click. And now just type in. All right. Now there's a lot of things we could do with the text here. Let's just start out and see how it comes in. Even that was not bad itself, but there's a couple cool things we could do. So first thing, let's maybe take this, and now we can kind of see, maybe we'll have the video actually start with this track, so that will kind of tell me where I want this to go. So I'm going to take this, double click this, let's maybe put his name over here. A/B effect in there, and the A/B effects, that allows you to cross two different clips together. You could use these on text and also on the video clips, and we'll be working with them too. So let me throw one on there, just see what happens. And that kind of just made it fade out nicely. Let's try a different one and just see what happens. Not that I'll probably go back and use that other one, but let's see here. Oh, that's kind of cool. So you can see there's a ton of these effects, and they're all like customizable. If I wanted to go a little longer, what we'll do is we'll see how it actually plays if it seems really fast. So maybe that was a little fast. What we could do here is double click inside the effect and drag it out a little bit. Let's see how that looks. Now, because I'm playing clip, it's slowed it down. We got to go back to project. Now here's the pop-up menu. So it's already on the pop-up that it was previously. when we copied the clip. But now there's a whole list in here. There's, you can see there's a lot of stuff you can make the text do. So if I wanted it to fade out, let's say I want it to fade out like this in this order. I click that and then do the same thing with the next one. We'll go to fade. We'll select that too. And now we'll see as this goes, it should start to scroll away like that. And if I want to speed that up, I would shorten this. And you'll see it'll kind of, if we play that in real time, it's probably very quick. Right. And so there's a lot of ways. Again, we just click on this and select that. And in this little menu bar, you could really make the text do a lot of things. You can make it fly off the screen, turn, zoom. Zoom out is kind of cool. So if we select that one, let's just take a quick look. So there's a lot of ways to get very creative with the text feature. Now, one thing we notice is the video is just popping in. And maybe we want this to fade in as that's fading out. So what I'm going to do here, the whole key when working with video, when you have multiple cameras synced to a song, is do not ever move the clip. Only split it and slide them, or I should say like roll them. So when I split this, I could drag and roll this, but I do not want to actually grab the whole clip and move it because that'll put it out of sync. So I split this. Now I'm going to take this, I'm going to go to options, and here's my fade in, fade out. So by selecting fade in, it'll make this clip fade in. If I want this to be longer, what I will do is I will take this and drag it without actually moving the whole clip, and then pull this a little bit more, and now that fade in should happen a little bit slower. I put a little marker here where the next change in the music comes, the first repeat, and we're going to keep this main guitar track going here. So I'm going to take these, I'll drag them down past that a little bit. Let's see, maybe we will snap to, maybe we'll snap to this view next. I look pretty focused there. I am reading music in this, and the stand is a little far away and down from this camera view. It's kind of a funny view. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to just maybe split the clip a little bit after that. So now I can work with this. Now, to make it just instantly snap, all we're going to do is drag it, and we should see, let's see here. It should just snap right to it. It did. So I'm going to take that, move that out of the way, because we're going to keep this one going for a little while. All right, and let's just see where that falls in line with the audio. Okay, so that's pretty much your standard camera transition that most normal people, I guess, would use. If you've watched any of my videos, they're kind of far from normal, and we'll make sure that by the time we get to the end of this, that it's not normal. But just in case, if you want to keep stuff standard, these are the transitions you might use. But it's a stagnant camera view. In other words, it's just stationary. It still looks nice, but we could add a lot of life to this with one of Corel's really great features up here, the video pan zoom. So what we're going to do is we apply this to the clip that we want it to affect. Okay. So I'm going to drag this down here. Here we go. Now we can see it automatically just zoomed in already. That's just kind of a standard setting that it has. Since the clip is highlighted, I'll go in and I will go, here's the video pan zoom. We can have multiple effects on a clip. And I'm going to go to customize filter. Okay, here's what we're looking at. This is the box that's telling me what the pan zoom is doing, and this is the result. The video pan zoom kind of can give the illusion that somebody's actually filming this, and it's a really, really great feature. This red diamond here is the starting point, and this diamond here is the ending point. Now, the two X's, you can see what's happening as I drag across. So that's what the video pan zoom is doing. Now we could add in extra markers here, and we could even twist this and kind of pull this. Let me just like play with it a little bit. So even though I'm not going to use this, we could see if we watch the box on the right, it looks like the cameraman is zooming in this way, and then all of a sudden there he goes. He's moving out that way. So you could really give the illusion that somebody is filming this by setting where it goes. So this is the starting point. Maybe I'll take the starting point and just bring it down to the corner here a little bit. And the starting point is at 112%. That's the size of the box. I'm going to click on the next marker. That's at 128. And this one, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it down, bring it closer, because I don't want it to go too fast. And maybe I'll open this back up. If I want to take something and snap it, that's what these anchors do. So if I want it to be centered and I want to get that to full screen, I'll drop that down to 100%. Now I know the last anchor will be dead center right here with the full screen. So I know that as this is panning, it's coming up and then it's coming back out. Let's give a play in real time and just see. This is how it'll be looking as it's going. Now it seems like it's speeding up a little bit more towards the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull that in a little bit closer and see if that gives it a little bit more. I don't want it to go too fast. Let's watch from the beginning. Let's just press OK and watch it with the music. Oh, see, now here's what happened. There was a jump. Because this clip was separate, this video pan zoom started zoomed in. Now, let's say this is a great example, because what if you're like, wow, I really like this, but I need to get rid of that problem. So here's what we would do. We already had the fading clip. We're going to get rid of that because we really like this pan zoom. We don't want it to change. So I'm going to delete that. I'm going to take this. I'm going to pull it back, in and out. Okay, so now if I split this, let's see. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened before, but now we could see that it's split. It's not really affecting all that much. And there's our snap to the next view. All right, so now all I'm going to do is apply the fade in. And now I should have exactly what I had before. So the key is when working with pan zoom, if you need to do a fade in or fade out, you need to affect the whole clip first and then do your fade in and fade outs. But if you do forget and you decide to add it in later, all you have to do is delete the fade in, drag that back out, and then redo the fade in. Now what I want to happen is I want this to fade out as the other one fades in, and I want to see both of them at the same time. The video pan zoom's already applied to this clip, so I'll go ahead and split it. And then I'm also going to take the clip I want to and split that as well. I'm going to apply a fade out. I'm going to take this, I'm going to drag it over, and I'm going to apply a fade in. We'll have to play with it a little bit to get it to look smooth. Let's see here. Okay, it looks nice as I'm scrolling, but let's just see the speed of the fade in. Okay, the next type of effect transition we're going to talk about is the A-B transition. This is where we take two clips and instead of having them fade in and fade out, we'll use that technique, but it'll be a little bit more effecty. So let's see here. I'm going to split this bottom clip. And I'm also going to split, let's say I want it to go to this clip. So I'm going to split that too. Now, if you're working with different camera views, this is where we're going to want to take one of the pieces and pull it up onto a different track. So if I want an A-B transition from this camera view to this camera view, what I'm going to do, let me pull this back. I want to make sure this is a little bit longer so we could see it. When I pull this up and drag it over, it'll automatically set one in for me. If we see that blue line, I'm holding this here, that's so I know that it's in exactly the same time as the bottom. If I move out, all of a sudden now, if I were to do that by accident, it would be completely out of sync. So I'm going to snap that to blue. Now we see that little B form there. Let's just see which one it picked. Right now it's set to random. And you can see this is definitely more of an effect style transition. Now with the A-B transitions, there are a ton of them. Okay, and they all do different things, and a lot of them are adjustable. I'm just gonna kind of randomly pick a few of them, show you, and it kind of shows you. So this one, it looks like it's kind of ripping out. If I drag that and put it on, let's take a look, and you can see that's what it did. And let's take a look at zipper. So it looks like it's being pulled away. This one. All right, let's see how that looks. Okay, so let's see. Let's start with this one because I know that I will fit nice. I could take myself and put it somewhere in here. So I'll begin by splitting the clip again. Now this is showing up. I'm gonna move this out of the way. We got this going. And let's just start with getting it to flow over the other image. So here's where we go into mask and chroma key. All right. Now if I click apply overlay options, we'll see, bam, I've already kind of appeared right in there. I do pop in, so we will use a fade in. One thing we'll notice is, there's a little bit of weird lighting there, and maybe up on my nose and on my hands. The other cool thing that we could do is we could take this, and now we can kind of move it where we want it. One thing you'll notice, though, is since my whole background is dark, it all kind of blends in nicely. Let me snap this back to center here. So first thing we'll do is while it's big, we'll just adjust the how it blends. So we'll go back to mask chroma key. And this is brand new in Video 8. I haven't really used it. Maybe we'll play with it a little bit. But generally, this first arrow, color similarity for mask. So if I go up and slide this all the way up, you'll see, wow, that already starts to blend a little bit better. And maybe now the edge of the screen is over here, but since it's kind of dark over here on the guitar, I don't think we're going to really notice that. And if I were to pull it up like this and let me just play it. You could see the bottom of the camera screen kind of creates a line there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, I'm going to pull it back down, definitely down to the bottom here. And this box is the center box, and this might be for smaller TVs. I'm not even sure what it's there for. Maybe it's just a point of reference. But I'll kind of get myself over as far as I can where it's not really like interfering. All right. Let me get my arm out of the way of my hand. And let me apply a fade in. And let's just see what happens here. We'll kind of drag the cursor slowly. There, I kind of start the fade in. You're seeing it. And you can see the hands in sync and everything. But I'm going to take this, and I want this to start like zooming in, right, while it's fading in. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the video pan zoom. I'm going to apply that. And let's just see what the standard setting does. You can see, wow, now I'm like starting to move while the other hand is staying still. Let's just adjust that. Customize filter. And instead of going up towards my head, I want it to go towards the guitar. Now, when this is an overlay, when we're doing an overlay, it's important to think about where the image is going. So if you're looking at the right side of the screen, you can see it's going from the bottom corner to the upper corner. And let me just do that and put it in the video so you could get a feel for what's happening. So it's starting there and zooming in, and the guitar, you can kind of see it's going this way. What'll happen is, I mean, that's what's happening in the video, but we got to think about the other scene too. Now we could see it's kind of crossing into my guitar hand, which is fine if that's what you want to happen. That looks kind of interesting. Let's see here. Maybe I don't want it. Maybe I just want to zoom straight in, kind of keep it where it is. All right, so we'll go back. We got this clip selected, and we're going to customize filter. So instead of, remember, we're starting on the starting point here. It's already zoomed in, so maybe actually we'll snap it to center and put it to 0. This starts me with a full screen. And the ending, let's see. I want to keep it close because I don't want that. I don't want my arm really. Maybe I'll bring it down. Maybe I'll focus in towards the picking hand here. So we'll go like this. Kind of get it going towards the picking hand. Let's just press OK and just see what happens with that. Let me get rid of these little markers here. All right, so I'm coming in. Here it comes. It fades in. It's going towards my picking hand. And now here's where I'll adjust because I really don't want that to happen. So I need to get this whole entire thing over to the right-hand side of the frame. So I'm going to go back, customize filter. Now to get it to go to the right, I actually have to move this to the left to keep it out of view. Okay, so let's just see if that worked. It's still, yeah, and that's moving kind of quick. So well, let's just see how it looks in real time here. Let's go back to chroma key. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. We'll work with this one. I'm definitely going to try to get all 3 of them in here. So let me take this, maybe move it over. Now what I'm looking at here is this lighting right here. So I'm kind of just trying to get it, you kind of see the lighting change as it goes. Now because there's some sound foam on the walls, I mean that line doesn't really make too much of a difference. Let's just see what that looks like. All right, maybe we'll just leave that. I use this one for my buddy's recording. Maybe I'll put a quick clip of that up. This is hilarious. Maybe we should use that. I think we'll definitely use it at the closing scene. Take a look at another one. How about this FX punch? Looks like it's going to kind of blow up the scene, magnify it. You can see what that's doing. Kaleidoscope. I've almost used this one. I haven't yet. Yeah, maybe we're going to use this one today. Here we go. All right. So the kaleidoscope, I have played with this. I just haven't used it yet. Let's see if we could at least get that kaleidoscope, like, so we could see some of the fretboard. So the kaleidoscope is on here. I'm going in. I'm going to go to Customize Filter. We could see that this is the end. We could just change the angle. Let's see if that does anything for us. How about the radius? Let's increase that radius. Oh, there we go. We're starting to see some fingers. All right. Let's see if the angle. Oh, here we go. Okay. This is getting a little crazy here. At this point, if somebody's watching this video, they have absolutely no idea that this was coming. And I still need to, it seems dark in here. I think I'm going to throw the lens flare on this top one too. Snapshots. So I want to take this picture. Actually, since it's the end of the video, I could kind of do this. Let's see where we want to put that. Maybe this time I'll do mask frame. Okay, so now we're going to use, since it's all black, I just want to kind of get rid of these straight edges. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a mask frame. It'll kind of give me that look. And maybe we'll find something that's just a little bit more on a square kind of side here. Let's see. That comes in. We'll make this fade in. And let's split this. We're going to take this video clip. We'll shrink this down. We're also going to extend that a little bit. So you can see now we're getting to the point where, hey, we're seeing all three camera views at once. Easy project, or a pretty easy thing to do, especially if you don't have to sync any music. In our case, it is the nuclear explosion at the end. So we'll take our clip. You can really put it wherever you want. Works just like the other video clips. I've got it there. Let's see what happens. And maybe I want this to, since it's an explosion, to kind of explode through the frame. So I'll apply a different A-B transition. Let's see what we got here. Oh, the Vitacine. I think we used that earlier. That kind of opens up like a circle. There we go. All right.